It is Terminal 2 that was recently built by the federal government through a Chinese loan. Terminal 1 has not been touched since 1979.
Nigeria signs to build $464 million airport project. The recent approval of 712 billion naira for the rehabilitation, upgrade and modernization of Lagos Murtala Mohammed International Airport Terminal 1 has sparked heated debate across Nigeria's aviation and political circles. Questions over timing, cost, funding sources, and transparency have cast a cloud of controversy over what is being described as one of the most significant investments in the nation's aviation sector. If you are interested in understanding the facts, the figures, and the forces at play, stick around with an open mind as we unravel the mystery behind this high-stake project. Nigeria's Federal Executive Council recently approved 712 billion naira for the rehabilitation, upgrade, and modernization of the old terminal at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. This has sparked controversy amongst aviation experts, industry stakeholders, and members of the opposition. Many are questioning the timing, the size of the budget, and the source of funding, with some describing the move as a wasteful venture. Plans to reconstruct the old terminal have been on the table since the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. However, the newly approved 712 billion naira was not included in the Ministry of Aviation's 2025 budget, which stands at just over 71 billion naira, less than one-tenth of the project cost. The government has explained that the work will be financed entirely through the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Development Fund. This fund was formerly Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund, created under President Buhari, but was transferred from the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority to the presidency and renamed Renewed Hope Infrastructure Development Fund. Under the plan, Terminal 1 will be stripped down to its structural framework and rebuilt with new mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems. As part of the project, airfield lightings on runway 18 left and 36 right, as well as taxiways B and C, will be upgraded to Cat 2 LED system under 44.13 billion naira contract, with completion expected in 30 weeks. To improve operations at the airport domestic wing, the Federal Executive Council approved the reconstruction and conversion of over 82,000 square meters of apron space at the cost of 24.27 billion naira. This work will be carried out in phases over about 17 and a half months to create more parking space for aircraft and ease traffic flow. Other approvals include 46.39 billion naira for the rehabilitation of both runways and taxiways at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano, with upgrades to Category 2 airfield lightings, and 42.14 billion naira for similar lighting upgrades at the Port Harcourt International Airport. The government says the Kano project, to be completed in 24 weeks, will enhance safety and reduce weather-related flight delays. Security at Lagos Airport will also receive a major boost with 49.9 billion naira perimeter fencing project. This will cover 14.6 kilometers of metal fencing equipped with an intrusion detection system, CCTV cameras, solar-powered floodlights, and a patrol road. A modern command center will allow real-time monitoring of movement along the fences. The total cost of 712.26 billion naira earmarked for all Lagos-related airport projects makes it one of the largest single investments in Nigeria's aviation sector in recent history. The contract for the main Lagos terminal work has been awarded to China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation. If you could recall, the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Terminal 2 was commissioned by the then President Buhari in March 2022 to help decongest the old terminal, which is over 40 years old. The terminal was part of a $500 million Chinese loan package agreed in 2013 for the construction of 4 new terminals in Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Port Harcourt, with the federal government providing an additional $100 million as counterpart funding. Although the new Lagos terminal was designed to handle over 15 million passengers annually, it missed several commissioning deadlines. After its completion, many international airlines refused to move there because the apron was too small for their wide-bodied aircraft, such as the Boeing 777s and Airbus A330s and Boeing 787s. As a result, the terminal remained largely unused for over a year. The apron size issue was traced to a design flaw that conflicted with the airport's original master plan, delaying the project further. When Festus Keyamo became minister in 2023, he directed some airlines to relocate to the new terminal. However, several, including Ethiopian Airlines, Egypt Air, Turkish Airlines, and Emirates, still operate from the old terminal. To expand the new terminal's apron, the previous administration demolished several buildings near the airport, including the old headquarters of the Accident Investigation Bureau, now Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, the Dominion Hangar, Evergreen Apple Nigeria facilities, Caverton and Execute Jet hangars, the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency office, the Federal Road Safety Corps office, and nearby towing company premises. In May 2019, the then Minister of Aviation announced that Julius Berger had been awarded a 14 billion naira contract for the massive rehabilitation of Terminal 1. At the time, the terminal had suffered several fire incidents. The then minister explained that the work would be funded from the internally generated revenue of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria at the 2019 exchange rate of 360 naira per dollar. The 14 billion naira contract was worth about $39 million at the time, far less than the current 712 billion naira approved, which is equivalent to about $445 million at 1,600 naira to the dollar. Critics of the current plan argue that the airport is still functional and that the priority should be proper maintenance, improved efficiency, and expansion of regional airports to strengthen connectivity. Some noted that the 712 billion naira figure is roughly the same amount spent to build all 4 new international terminals in 2014, cost being repaid from the Chinese loan. They also pointed out that although the Lagos airport was designed to process 14 million passengers annually, it handled only 6.5 million passengers in 2024, less than half of its capacity. Aviation analyst and former rector of the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology suggested a public-private partnership model instead. He argued that private investment backed by performance bonds will ensure quality and reduce the government financial burden whilst encouraging sustainable infrastructure development. Others are concerned that such huge expenditure approved by the Federal Executive Council on July 31, 2025 has not been budgeted for and does not have clear National Assembly backing. However, stakeholders who are in support of the project insist that it is a timely intervention for Nigeria's busiest airport. The minister explained that the funding will come from savings generated by fuel subsidy removal and naira devaluation, and that the investment will be recouped within 3 years since the Murtala Mohammed International Airport generates around 200 billion naira annually. He described the Terminal 1 as totally decrepit after years of neglect and said that the plan is to strip it down, redesign and rebuild it to international standards, whilst expanding facilities to accommodate more passengers and aircraft. The works will also include 2 new ring roads for arrival and departure, a bridge giving travelers direct access to the upper floor of the Terminal 2, and smart solutions to create a world-class airport. The Murtala Mohammed International Airport Terminal 1, built in 1978 and opened in 1979, was originally designed for 200,000 passengers. By 2019, it was serving over 7 million passengers annually. Today, over 32 airlines, including cargo operators, use the airport, with more than 272 aircraft movement daily. The Murtala Mohammed International Airport handles over 70% of Nigeria's passenger traffic and stands out as the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria's highest revenue earner. In 2024, Nigerian Airport generated 382.1 billion naira, with the Murtala Mohammed International Airport accounting for 67% of the total, followed by Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport Abuja at 21.3%. To be candid, the 712 billion naira Lagos Airport project is set to reshape Nigeria's aviation sector, but whether it becomes a milestone of progress or costly missteps remains to be seen. We'll be following every development, so don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Turn on post notifications to stay updated. Thank you for watching.